So what if I told you that the way we've been hiring people for the last, 30 years or so is now completely broken? Today, we're going to tackle that exact problem, this urgent need to build a workforce for a future that, let's be honest, is already here. And we're going to use some of the smartest thinking from Harvard Business Review as our guide.
To really understand where we're going, we have to look at where we've been. For decades, companies built their talent. Think about that. A staggering 90% of jobs were filled from the inside. People grew with the company. But then, that model just shattered. A whole new playbook took over. Just-in-time hiring. Basically buying talent. And just like that, internal promotions just plummeted to only 15%.
And, well, that brings us right to the heart of the problem today. The buy model, it worked fine when there was a huge pool of available talent out there. But now, with tight labor markets and technology like AI changing the required skills almost overnight, that pool has all but evaporated. The old playbook, it's officially broken.
So if you can't buy the talent you need anymore, you really only have one option left, right? You have to build it. This is your guide for making that absolutely critical shift, moving away from that reactive hiring scramble and toward a proactive, future-proof talent strategy.
The insights we're diving into today, they come straight from this brilliant collection by Harvard Business Review. It pulls together the absolute best research and analysis on how to future-proof your organization. So think of it as our roadmap for the next few minutes.
All right, the first and honestly, the most important shift we need to make isn't about programs or budgets. It's all about mindset. We have to stop thinking of reskilling as just some training function tucked away in HR and start treating it as what it actually is, a core business strategy.
See, this single idea changes everything. Stop looking at reskilling as a cost. Start seeing it for what it truly is, a competitive weapon. It is how you develop unique talent that your competitors simply cannot go out and buy on the open market. This is how you win.
So this really becomes a new mandate for leadership. It has to be championed from the very top. We're talking about a deep, profound commitment from the entire organization, way beyond just the HR department. It becomes a strategic tool, right? A way to perfectly align the supply of your people's skills with the future demands of the business.
Okay, so we get the why. Now it's time for the how. Let's get into the practical playbook, the stuff you can actually use to start building your future workforce, literally starting today.
If you need just one number to light a fire under you, this is it. The World Economic Forum predicts that 50% of all employees will need reskilling by 2025. Just let that sink in for a second. This is not some distant threat. It is happening right now. The clock is absolutely ticking.
So how in the world do you prepare for a future that you can't even fully predict? Well, you need a totally new concept. Forget reskilling for a moment. Think pre-skilling. This isn't about teaching someone a specific piece of software. It's about building foundational capabilities, things like adaptability, learning agility, curiosity, so that your team is ready for the jobs that don't even exist yet.
And here's how you actually do it. First, you shift your focus. Stop looking only at past performance and start looking at future potential. Next, you give people real, data-driven feedback that helps them grow. And this one is so critical. You invest in your mid-level managers. They are the absolute linchpin here. They're the ones who will unlock the potential on your teams and inspire real, lasting change. So how do people really learn new skills anyway? It's definitely not just about sending them to workshops. The 70-20-10 model shows us that the vast majority of learning, a full 70%, comes from direct, on-the-job experience. Another 20% comes from exposure to others, through coaching and mentorship. And only 10% comes from formal education. The takeaway is crystal clear. The most effective learning has to be integrated directly into the flow of work.
And the good news is you have more tools in your toolkit than ever before to make this happen. It's not one size fits all. For technical roles, maybe you use digital apprenticeships. For leadership development, coaching is perfect. The modern approach lets you tailor the solution to the specific skill gap, which makes your development efforts way more effective and efficient.
And ultimately, all of this brings us to the real heart of the matter. Building a future-ready workforce isn't about launching yet another training program. It's about fundamentally transforming your culture. We're talking about rewiring how you hire, how you develop, and how you think about talent itself.
A huge cornerstone of this new culture is something called skills-first hiring. And it's a simple but incredibly powerful idea. You stop obsessing over university degrees and fancy credentials, and you focus on what a person can actually do.
I mean, this is a total game changer. It dramatically widens your talent pool to include all these incredible people who were previously invisible to you.
And guess what? You can start tomorrow. Seriously. Rewrite your job descriptions to talk about skills, not degrees. Launch a small apprenticeship pilot program. Partner with a local community college. The key is to just start building that momentum and showing your managers what's truly possible when you open up your view of what great talent looks like.
So we'll end with this thought. The old model of just buying talent off the shelf? It's over. The future workforce, it must be built, skill by skill, person by person, from the inside out. And the only question left is, will you be the architect?
Hey, if this explainer helped you think a little differently about how you build your team, please take just a second to like and subscribe. It really does help us create more insights just like this one. Thanks so much for watching.